What happens when a former gang kingpin turned community hero faces a federal indictment that could strip away everything he's built? Eugene Big U Hemley Jr., a name once synonymous with redemption, is now at the center of a legal storm that has captured the attention of the entire country. But what's really going on here? Is Big U truly guilty of the charges against him, or is he just another black man targeted by a system determined to tear him down? This isn't just a case about crimes. It's about betrayal, snitching, and a fight for survival. In this video, we're diving into the explosive drama surrounding Big U, the massive federal indictment, and the shocking allegations that have rocked the streets of South LA. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. On March 19, 2025, the quiet of South Los Angeles was shattered. Federal authorities unsealed a 43-count indictment against Eugene Big U Hemley Jr. and 18 others tied to the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips. This wasn't just another arrest, it was the culmination of years of an intense investigation into what authorities called a mafia-like operation. But here's where things take a dramatic turn. This case went viral, not because of the charges, but because of a viral video posted by Big U himself. Just before surrendering to the authorities, Big U took to social media, and the video? It was a bombshell. He boldly addressed the accusations head-on, calling them bullcrap, and accusing music manager Wack 100 and rapper 600 Breezy of being involved in his downfall. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house, Big U said, accusing Breezy of cooperating with law enforcement in an attempt to take him down. This wasn't just a statement, it was an explosive claim that sent shockwaves through both the streets and the hip-hop industry. Imagine the impact. In gang culture, being labeled a snitch is one of the worst things you can be called. Big U wasn't just defending himself, he was throwing massive accusations at two of the biggest names in the game, and the internet exploded. But the video didn't stop there. It set the stage for what would become a messy, highly public feud between Big U, Wack 100, and 600 Breezy that would only get more intense as the case unfolded.
But the viral video wasn't the only thing making headlines. The charges against Big U are serious enough that they could change his life forever. Federal authorities have accused him of leading a violent criminal enterprise, one that allegedly engaged in murder, extortion, human trafficking, and fraud. Let's break down the most chilling allegations. First, Big U stands accused of orchestrating the murder of Ryan Williams, an aspiring rapper who allegedly recorded a diss track aimed at Big U in January 2021. Court documents paint a gruesome picture. Williams was shot and left in a ditch off Interstate 15 in North Las Vegas. This isn't just a street-level crime. It's a brutal, calculated killing, and Big U is allegedly at the center of it. Next up are the fraud charges. Authorities claim that Big U fraudulently inflated the profits of his music label, Unique Music, in order to secure COVID relief loans. On paper, his company reported a $200,000 profit for 2019, but in reality, it had only posted a $5,000 loss. The accusation that Big U used this false information to pocket a hefty sum in government loans meant to help struggling businesses during the pandemic. But perhaps the most damaging to Big U's reputation are the embezzlement charges. For years, Big U has positioned himself as a reformed gangster, a champion of community activism and youth outreach through his nonprofit Developing Options. But now, the feds are accusing him of using this charity as a front for criminal activities. The city of Los Angeles had trusted Big U to help at-risk youth. But according to the indictment, the funds meant for these programs were allegedly funneled into Big U's own criminal enterprise. It's a stark contrast to the community hero image he worked hard to build. These allegations paint a picture of a man who, on the surface, was trying to uplift his community, yet behind closed doors was allegedly running a dangerous and illegal operation. As the case continues, the question looms: was Big U truly trying to help, or was he using his public image to mask a much darker reality?
Big U, however, isn't going down without a fight. In his viral video, just before surrendering to authorities, he fiercely rejected the allegations against him. He didn't just claim his innocence. He positioned himself as a victim of systemic racism and persecution. Big U said in a heartfelt message to his followers, for him, this case wasn't just about criminal charges. It was about a much larger fight. He framed the accusations as an attack on black men who were trying to make a difference. Big U's narrative is clear. He's not just a man caught up in a criminal enterprise. He's a community leader targeted by the very system that's supposed to help uplift his people. You don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community, he added, tapping into a long-standing mistrust of law enforcement within marginalized communities. This defense is powerful and resonates with many who see Big U as a symbol of redemption, a man who served his time, turned his life around, and dedicated himself to helping others. He's not just defending himself. He's defending the idea that black men who rise above their circumstances are often torn down by the system. It's a narrative that goes beyond the courtroom, one that touches on historical concerns about the targeting of black activists and leaders, something that can't be ignored in a case like this. But while Big U's words may resonate with some, the evidence against him is formidable. His defense isn't just about denying the charges. It's about portraying himself as a victim of false accusations, rivalries, and a system that has never been kind to black men trying to do good. As the case unfolds, the question remains: will the legal system see it as a case of racial persecution, or is Big U really just a man trying to cover up his criminal actions? This case isn't just about legal charges. It's about a bitter feud between Big U and Wack 100, two heavyweights in the music and street culture world. Their relationship, once a close friendship, has now become a public battleground, one that's only getting more intense as the federal case unfolds. The tension between Big U and Wack 100 dates back years. Once allies, the two have now become bitter enemies, and their feud has spilled into public view. In June 2022, reports surfaced that Wack 100 had expressed regret over their falling out, but Big U wasn't having it. He rejected Wack's attempts at reconciliation, and the animosity only grew from there. Their feud became even more complicated when Wack 100 made public remarks about Nipsey Hussle's legacy, remarks that Big U, who had managed Nipsey's career, found deeply offensive. Things got even messier in November 2022 when Big U publicly disputed a story Wack 100 told about confronting rapper Future over an unpaid debt. These public confrontations showed just how deep the animosity runs, but the most shocking development came in 2022 when Hassan Campbell, a podcast host, revealed an overheard conversation between Big U and Wack 100. According to Campbell, the two had discussed using a sex tape to extort 30% of Nipsey Hussle's estate from his partner, Lauren London, after Nipsey's tragic death. The claim caused a media frenzy and sparked outrage among fans. Some believed that Wack 100 was trying to exploit Nipsey's death for personal gain. Big U, on the other hand, was caught up in a narrative that painted both men as willing to cross moral lines for financial and personal gain. Whether or not the tape existed or was part of a larger extortion scheme, this accusation added fuel to an already raging fire between the two. With Big U now facing serious criminal charges, it seems like the feud with Wack 100 has only intensified. Wack 100 wasted no time responding to Big U's pre-surrender video. He vehemently denied all the accusations, using social media as his platform to challenge Big U on every front, whether in the streets or the music business. Wack's response? A full denial, while also hinting that there were others involved in Big U's legal troubles, people Big U should be looking at. This public back and forth is more than just a feud. It's about reputations, loyalty, and control over a complex network of relationships in the music industry and the streets. With both men's credibility on the line, the fight for respect and influence has become a battle that goes beyond personal grudges. It's about legacy, power, and, in some ways, survival. Amidst the chaos of the Big U Wack 100 feud, another name has been thrust into the spotlight: 600 Breezy. A rapper known for his own share of controversies, Breezy now finds himself at the center of one of the most explosive accusations in this entire case. Big U didn't just throw shade at Breezy. He accused him of being involved in something much darker: cooperating with the police. In his pre-surrender video, Big U claimed that 600 Breezy was literally with law enforcement when they raided his house. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house, Big U said, suggesting that Breezy not only knew about the raid beforehand, but was actively involved. For anyone familiar with street culture, this is a devastating claim. Being accused of snitching is one of the most severe accusations you can face in gang circles. The label of cooperating with the authorities can end careers, destroy reputations, and even put lives at risk. The allegation adds a new layer of complexity to the already tense situation. While 600 Breezy has yet to fully respond to Big U's claims, the implication is clear. Big U believes that Breezy was working with the authorities, and in gang culture, that's a death sentence to any reputation. It's not just a feud, it's a challenge to Breezy's credibility and street loyalty. This accusation has thrown Breezy into the firestorm that is Big U's legal case, and it adds even more fuel to an already explosive narrative. If Breezy was indeed involved with the raid, it would open up a whole new chapter in the ongoing war of words and accusations between the key figures in this saga. The question remains, will Breezy deny the allegations, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? For now, the public is waiting to see how Breezy will respond. Will he speak out and deny Big U's claims? Or will this accusation hang over him as his association with the case continues to develop? Regardless, the damage has already been done.
While the drama surrounding Big U, Wack 100, and 600 Breezy grabs most of the headlines, the real fallout from this case is felt at home by Big U's family. The charges against him have not only thrust him into the legal spotlight, but they've also put a massive amount of pressure on his loved ones, especially his son, Dion Henley. Dion Henley is a linebacker for the Los Angeles Chargers, is caught in an incredibly difficult position. As his father faces a potential life sentence for a range of serious charges, including murder and RICO conspiracy, Dion is under intense public scrutiny. The very fact that Big U's legal troubles are so public puts a target on his son's back, with the media and fans eager to draw connections between Dion's successful career and his father's criminal past. Big U has spoken publicly about how his son is being impacted by the case, saying, "They're calling my son at his football practice, threatening him." The idea that Big U's son could be dragged into the mess of accusations and criminal charges simply because of his family ties paints a tragic picture of how far-reaching this case truly is. Dion Henley, who is trying to build his own career in the NFL, has to navigate the public fallout from his father's situation, at a time when he should be focusing on his own success. This situation puts Dion in a no-win position. If he speaks out, it risks drawing more attention to his father's legal battles, but remaining silent could allow the narrative to be shaped by others. And beyond the media frenzy, there's the personal toll. How does someone deal with the reality that their father is facing life in prison, all while trying to make a name for themselves in the highly competitive world of professional sports? The impact on Big U's family isn't just about legal battles and public pressure. It's about the emotional toll of dealing with accusations, speculation, and a tarnished reputation. Dion Henley is trying to forge his own path, but the specter of his father's charges looms over everything, complicating his efforts to remain focused on his career. As the case unfolds, Big U's family, his son especially, will have to carry the weight of not only the legal battles, but the public perception that comes with being connected to one of the most talked about legal dramas in recent memory.
Big U's case isn't just a legal battle for one man. It's a ripple that extends far beyond his personal life and the hip-hop world. This case has significant implications for the broader Los Angeles community, gang intervention efforts, and the intersection of street culture with the music industry. For years, Big U was seen as a symbol of redemption in South Los Angeles. After serving time for a serious crime, he reinvented himself as a community leader and a prominent figure in the music industry. Through his nonprofit organization, Developing Options, Big U worked to help at-risk youth escape the cycle of gang violence. He used his influence and connections in both the streets and the entertainment world to create opportunities for young people, often providing them with mentorship and resources they desperately needed. But now, with Big U facing such severe charges, including murder and embezzlement, his fall of grace threatens to undo the positive work he has done. If the accusations are true, it represents a betrayal of the very community he claimed to support. The allegations that he used his charity as a front for criminal activity are particularly damaging, especially in a city where trust in community leaders and organizations is already fragile. If Big U, a man who was once held up as a beacon of reform, is indeed guilty of exploiting the system he helped build, it could have lasting consequences for future gang intervention programs. This case also raises important questions about the relationship between gang culture, music industry politics, and the criminal justice system. Big U isn't the first to navigate these worlds simultaneously, but his case brings renewed attention to how the two can intersect in destructive ways. The entertainment industry has long had ties to street organizations, with many rappers and producers coming from neighborhoods where gangs hold significant sway. The blurred lines between street credibility and business success have made it difficult to separate the artist from their environment, and Big U's case only highlights how complicated it can be when the two worlds collide. If Big U is convicted, it could have far-reaching effects on both gang intervention efforts in Los Angeles and the way the music industry interacts with figures who have ties to criminal organizations. The case could lead to increased skepticism and heightened scrutiny of those in the music industry who come from similar backgrounds. If the public begins to view Big U as a fraud who used his status for criminal gain, it could further stigmatize legitimate efforts to reduce gang violence and provide resources for at-risk youth. This situation isn't just about one man's fate, it's about the future of gang intervention in LA and the moral questions surrounding the music industry's engagement with street culture. Big U's case could reshape public perception, making it harder for community leaders to be trusted and potentially pushing back efforts to reduce gang violence in the city. As the trial progresses, all eyes will be on the impact of Big U's legal battles, not just on his personal life, but on the broader communities that believed in his redemption story. The outcome of this case could change the way both street culture and the music industry are viewed in Los Angeles, affecting both the individuals involved and the systems that allowed them to rise to prominence in the first place.
As Big U's legal battles continue to unfold, the question on everyone's mind is, what happens next? With the case still in its early stages, the stakes couldn't be higher for him, and for those around him. The road ahead is uncertain, but there are a few key things we can expect as the case progresses. First, let's talk about the legal process. Big U has pleaded not guilty to all charges, including the serious allegations of murder, fraud, and racketeering. As of now, he remains in custody, with his trial scheduled to begin on May 20th, 2025. Although, of course, this date could change as pretrial motions and procedures continue. The prosecution's case is built on a significant amount of evidence, including wiretaps, financial records, and witness testimony. Authorities claim they have gathered substantial proof linking Big U to a criminal enterprise that spanned over a decade. If convicted, Big U faces a statutory maximum sentence of life in federal prison.
The charges against him are severe, with some of the most damaging including the murder of Ryan Williams, a crime that could result in life imprisonment all on its own. Add to that the RICO conspiracy charges, designed to target organized criminal enterprises, and the potential sentence becomes even more daunting. But Big U's defense isn't just going to sit back and let the case play out. In his viral video, he made it clear that he sees the case as part of a larger conspiracy against him. He believes that the charges are politically motivated, an attempt to bring down a successful black man who was trying to help his community. His defense team is likely going to focus on portraying him as a victim of systemic persecution, especially given his past as a former gang member turned community leader. They may also argue that the evidence against him is circumstantial or flawed, challenging the prosecution's narrative at every turn. On the public front, Big U's narrative is already shaping the conversation. His viral video sparked intense discussions across social media, with many defending him as a victim of law enforcement bias and others condemning his actions as a betrayal of the very community he claimed to help. This public narrative is likely to continue to evolve as the case progresses, with both Big U's supporters and detractors fighting for influence in the court of public opinion. In terms of family impact, Big U's son, Diane Henley, is likely to continue facing scrutiny, especially as his father's trial moves forward. The spotlight on his professional career as an NFL linebacker will remain intense, with the public constantly comparing his actions to his father's legal woes. However, Diane is also likely to distance himself from the controversy, focusing on his career and maintaining a low profile to avoid further public pressure. Meanwhile, the feud with Wack 100 and the ongoing accusations of betrayal and snitching will continue to play out in the media. As Big U's case advances, the drama between these figures is unlikely to cool down. Wack 100 has already made it clear that he won't back down, using his platforms to deny Big U's accusations and challenge the entire narrative. For Big U, this feud is personal. It's about reclaiming his reputation and ensuring his legacy remains intact. But as the stakes rise, this conflict could become even heated, with each new development feeding the fire. And while the legal battles continue, the broader implications of the case are still being felt across Los Angeles and the music industry. Big U was once seen as a symbol of redemption, a man who left behind a violent past to become a leader and a philanthropist. If the case results in a conviction, it could forever change the way his legacy is viewed. His involvement in gang culture, music, and community activism has made him a complex figure, but if proven guilty, he risks tarnishing everything he worked to build. Ultimately, Big U's future is uncertain. The coming months will be crucial, not just for his personal freedom, but for his place in history. Will he be remembered as a misunderstood leader caught in a corrupt system, or as a criminal who used his community work as a cover for illegal activity? For now, all eyes will remain on the courtroom as this high-profile case continues to unfold, and the final chapters of Big U's saga are written. Big U's case is more than just a legal battle. It's a reflection of the complex intersection between street culture, music, community activism, and the criminal justice system. For years, Big U was viewed as a success story, a man who turned his life around, from a gang leader to a community activist, trying to make a difference in South Los Angeles. But now, with a federal indictment hanging over his head, that narrative is in jeopardy. The charges against him are severe and could lead to life imprisonment, but his defense paints a different picture. Big U frames himself as a victim of a system that targets black men trying to uplift their communities, tapping into a deeper societal issue that resonates with many. Whether or not the legal system sees it that way remains to be seen, but what's clear is that the outcome of this case will have far-reaching implications. This case has already exposed deep divides between Big U and his former allies, between him and the public, and even within his own family. As the feud with Wack 100 and the accusations against 600 Breezy continue to unfold, it's not just about who's guilty or innocent. It's about the broader themes of loyalty, betrayal, redemption, and survival in a world where reputations can be shattered in an instant. No matter how this case ends, one thing is certain: Big U's legacy will be forever tied to this moment. Whether he walks free or faces life behind bars, the fight for his name, his reputation, and his place in history is far from over. So what's next for Big U? We'll have to wait and see, but the drama surrounding him is just getting started, and the impact of this case will resonate long after the trial is over. Stay tuned, because the story of Big U, his rise, his fall, and everything in between is far from finished.